everyone, so today I'm going to talk to you about killer shoes. The high heels that you love, that you adore, that you wish you could wear all day, but in reality you can only wear them for like 30 minutes before they start killing your feet. So if you guys want a video on how to walk in heels, I'll probably do that later, but you guys know that I'm a model and a shoe addict. And as a model, they have us walk in some very, very uncomfortable heels, and as a shoe addict, I'll be honest, I don't always buy it for the comfort. I usually buy just for how cute they are. So I understand exactly how it feels to be walking in a pair of heels and you feel like your feet are dying. And because I've kind of gone through this for a couple years now, I wanted to give you my tips and tricks to making sure that your heels are as comfortable as they can be. First and foremost, you have to check the size of your heels. Do they fit you right? If they're a little bit loose, you can always shove toilet paper into the front. If it's a closed toe, if you guys can see, it has like a closed toe, so if you put toilet paper in here, no one can see. Now if it's an open toe, obviously that won't work, but for those who are really, kind of uncomfortable, you can put a little bit of padding in there to kind of make it a little bit tighter on you. In addition, to make shoes tighter, you could also use these little back heel pads, and I'll actually show you what these look like. These little heel pads are things that go right here in the very back of your shoe. So if it's super uncomfortable, you can put it right here and it kind of pads it. Also, if you have a shoe that gives you blisters, this will help with that too. This usually happens if they're a little bit loose. Now like this one has a bunch of little strappy things, and if you have a strappy sandal that's really uncomfortable, good news for you, there's a trick for that too. Here are a couple little strappy things that go on the side of the straps. As you guys can see, these are smaller. So if you have something killer like this, you put these on the very inside, like this, and it helps to cushion that little area for you. So if you have shoes like that are rubbing, these should be able to help you out. If the shoe's too loose, you can kind of pad it, but if it's too tight, there are a couple ways to stretch it out. The first thing you can do is use a bag of water. Get like a Ziploc bag full of plastic water, and you can shove it into the toe of your shoe. Now you can freeze the shoe, and that plastic bag will expand. Ice expands 9% when it transitions from water to ice. It expands in volume. It means it gets bigger by 9% when it freezes. If you want to test it out, put a water bottle that's full and screw it up and put it in the freezer, and it'll be a little bit bloated when you take it out and it's all frozen. Kind of interesting. The idea is that will happen with the shoe. When you put the plastic bag in there, it'll stretch it out so that way your toes will be able to fit in. Now, if you're using a pair of shoes that has leather or suede or can't get wet, do not do this. You do not want to ruin your pair of shoes. But usually if it's a synthetic material or, certain plastics like that, it should be able to kind of give a little bit. Another idea is to use shoe trees. Now, the idea of a shoe tree is that this is a shoe tree. You stick it into the shoe, and when you push this down, do you see how it kind of expands? It's like this when you get into the foot, and when you push this in, it kind of opens up. So it's the idea that it expands the foot. Now, in some cases, the shoe tree will not fit into the shoe. That was the case with these. No matter how hard I tried, I could not get the shoe tree into the shoe. So I made do with my own little do-it-yourself option. My dad and I actually went out and we found a couple things the right size to shove into the toes of these. So I'm stretching these out just so they'll fit. This is actually a doorknob that we're not using anymore, and this right here is a little rock. Also, if we look on the inside, very inside, if you guys can see, there's a golf ball in there. The golf ball was like the perfect size, so we just shoved it in there. I hope you guys can see. We just shoved the golf ball in there in hopes that it would help stretch it out. And good news, it does. So even if you don't have a shoe trees probably are the best, but if you don't have one or if they don't fit into your heel, just even like a tennis ball, something that'll help you really push it in there. In addition, if worse comes to worse, you can use a shoe stretcher. And I've heard of using just plain rubbing alcohol. If it's a really nice pair of shoes, I would recommend going with a stretcher or something like that. And you still have to be careful. This can be used on shoes and gloves, and it stretches permanently, so that's a good thing. I think it can only be used on leather or suede. Let's see. Yeah, it says here, test in an inconspicuous area. So if I were you, I would test it on the inside of the shoe first, just to make sure it doesn't discolor it or anything. But after that, you sit it in there, you put either a shoe stretcher or a golf ball if you're really spiffy, and it should stretch the shoe out over the period of about a day. Another option for you is really tight socks. If you guys have a shoe that just barely fits, it will hurt and it will be painful, but you can put on like 4 pairs of fuzzy socks and shove your foot into that shoe. It'll hurt, it'll be painful, you do not want to walk in them, you just lay on the couch and watch TV, but that should help stretch the shoe out a little bit. So there's a couple of ways to make it more comfortable. Again, if you guys do have shoes that are really uncomfortable that cut into your foot, my foot is really weird. Most people's feet are like this, and here are the toes. Mine has like a bump right here, and it can be really, really painful, especially in shoes like these that have like a little thing on the side. It's very, very uncomfortable. So what you can actually do is take some of these that go on the back of the heel, and you can actually cut them into small little squares and just place them where you need them to go. In addition, if the actual foot of the shoe is really uncomfortable, or if you're like me and have really high arches, you can get arch support. This is a cushion for killer shoes. You just apply this to your shoe on the inside, and it's supposed to help cushion them. They also have these that have little arch supports, so it'll actually be like a little bubble almost that kind of cushions your foot. And that's really helpful in high heels because, as we know, high heels are not good for your feet and your back anyways. Another idea are these like little heel cushions, and I think I just got these from Costco, but let me tell you, these make shoes so much more comfortable. I don't know about you guys, but I've had some shoes where it feels like the heel, like it doesn't end, it just goes straight through your foot. Like that's how painful they can be because there's so little padding, especially shoes like this. If you have a shoe like this, it's a little bit more comfortable just because you have the platform for cushion. You guys see how there's a platform in there? Shoes like this have no platform, so it's almost like you're walking directly on the pavement with your feet like this. This is amazing. You can put it at the toe, but it's meant for the heel. They have ones for the toe, but I just don't have any on hand. This is something that you can put directly to the heel, and as you guys can see, it cushions it perfectly, so now it's not as painful to walk on. And what's great about these things is that, you know, you can wear them all the time and put them in your shoe, or you can just take them and go. And I know that as a model, you see what happens if they have a plastic thing here? You're supposed to take this off and apply it to your shoe permanently. As a model, I would just take these, and I wouldn't take the plastic thing off. I would just put them into the shoes that I had to walk in. And usually if they had like an arch like this, they would stay. So that's a really good way to kind of stay comfortable, whether you're using someone else's shoes and you don't want to put them in permanently, or if you're putting them in your own shoes and don't want to use them permanently. Last but not least is my personal favorite tip and trick for killer high heels, and it's roll-up shoes. The idea that you guys can roll up your shoes in your purse, and when your heels just get too painful, you take them off and go. So let's say I'm wearing these as heels and they're just adorable and I love them, and oh my god, they're killing my feet. I don't want to walk around barefoot. So they have these roll-up shoes that fit in your purse. Unfortunate thing is that they're pretty darn ugly. You've seen them, they're like, you like tie them up, they're like little rolls that you put in your shoes. Check these out. I never wore them just because I was like, oh, you know, they're so ugly, da-da-da-da, I want to look cute. These are exactly those roll-up shoes, only they're cute. So these are my personal favorites, and as you guys can see, they're these little roll-up shoes. This will fit perfectly in a purse, but they come with these cute little roll-ups. And what's great is that they have different styles and designs to choose from. So I love these, and they're not meant to walk around every day, but they are so comfortable. Most of the roll-up shoes just have like fabric or material on the bottom. These actually have soles, so this gives you a really good amount of padding and cushion. So I personally love these, and I haven't actually worn these yet. There's another one that I showed in my January favorites. Oh my god, I've used it like there is no tomorrow. But what's great is that these aren't ugly either. They're cute. They have a little heart here, they have a little bow, they come in a little tiger print, and they come in this. So when you're done with them and when they're stinky, you don't want to just shove them back in your purse. This is a little plastic bag, so you stick them back in the plastic bag. Stinky shoes in the plastic bag, and you just tighten them up. So now the plastic keeps the stench away from everything else in your purse. And I got these at a little boutique. Unfortunately, I paid full price. They have them on sale online. This is how they come online. They come in a little box, which again, fits perfectly in your purse. This one comes with a little shoe bag. So once you take your shoes off, you don't just want to hold them all day. You can actually put them, it's like a little fold-up bag, and you can actually stick your heels into this bag and just kind of be on your go. Go on your be on your way. Go on your way, whatever. But again, it's the idea that they have these shoes, they're protected from the stench of your purse, or protecting your purse from the stench. They're roll-up, but they're cute. Here's a really adorable pair. This one has like a little peace sign. They have them with skulls, they have them with hearts, they have them with crowns, they have them in snake print, they have them in gold, they have them in silver, they have them in military, they have them in denim, they have them in black, they have them in leopard print. I am obsessed with these guys. And like I said, I had to pay full retail price for this one. Online, they're 10% off. I think it's like Comfort 10. I don't know how long it lasts, but I got these on sale. So you guys can find them at retail locations too. But that is my #1 tip for having uncomfortable heels, because you just put them in here and you go. And even, you know, even with some of these things, sometimes they're still a little bit painful. So I hope that this helped you guys. I hope that this kind of educates you and maybe makes your heels a little bit more comfortable. If you have other tips or other tricks that I didn't touch on, be sure to post them in the comments and kind of share with me and everyone else so that we have even more ways to be comfortable in our heels and hopefully wear these cute little things longer. So I love you guys. I hope that you found this informative and helpful, and I'll talk to you on the next video. Bye.